Rally Radio, where the fast life meets the fast lane.
Yeah.
You're now tuned into Bars and Hoops Radio. Where the world of hip-hop and sports live.
Dropping the clutch and then I hit the gas. Wheels screeching, tires burning, I'm flying past. Gotta get home quick, don't wanna miss the class. They schooling you on whips and how to make them fast. Talking about everything from cars to planes. What's hot, what's next, and how to flip the game. They talk in my language, we speak the same. That whip talk complex, but yet they keep it plain. From the news, the interviews, they keep it cool. They give reviews, everything from parts to tools. Can't lose, come to whips, they not no fools. Don't miss the show, the start time is noon. The bearded one, S.I. Sean, they crazy though. You can't miss it, tune in to Rally Radio.
Where the fast life meets the fast lane.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
You already know what it is, man. We in the building, true hustle. It's a storm outside. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. You already know how we get down, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to my guy Seneca was popping. I know you see the time, and I know Seneca see it too, because he drive one of them. He drive a nice little BM. Auto only. BMW hates the manual.
Oh boy.
Is it truly over? Gotta ask. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. You already know how we get down, man. It's the bearded one. We got a special guest today.
Yeah, the moon done showed up.
Step right up.
What's going on, Rally Radio?
Shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. Those that's tuning in on YouTube, we rocks with y'all.
Word up.
Oh, man, we in the building. Shout to sales. Yo. You already know what it is. Good morning.
Rally Radio, what's good? What's good, everybody?
We got Ace One in the building, man.
I
He
showed up. I showed up.
stepped off the moon to come rock with us today.
He let me out.
Oh, man.
Sent me down.
It's going to be one of those today, bro.
Yeah, it's going to be ugly.
It's going to be one of those today. We was talking about it. And you know, at the end of the day, this is the kind of stuff that happens to the automotive world. And it's a seismic shift because BMW has been known. Shout to Reeps. What's good?
Yeah.
AKA Dangerous Damien. We know he hates that. Dangerous Damien.
Yeah.
He's in the building. You already know what it is. BMW had shout to SP to Don. You know what he says. They done lost their way.
That's it.
You know we know. Shout to the Facebook user. Good day. You already know what it is. We are rocking early. Shout to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. For wherever you are, don't forget to drop a like so we can shout you out, man. Shout to everybody who's tuned in. We appreciate y'all. We know it's early. We know it's rainy. But you know what? That don't stop Rally Radio.
Nah, not at all.
That's it.
We make it happen.
That's it. We got to make it happen one way or the other. But
how many times we did that through the rain?
oh, man, it's crazy. How many times we done drove Gutterballrally through the rain? And that's also, we're going to talk about that too.
Yeah.
Today is going to be one of those days, the origin of Gutterballrally. And what is the best drive you've ever had?
Ooh, man. The best drive I've ever had?
Yeah.
Man, listen. Let's see. On the way back from here last year,
Shout.
when on my way back, I took the wrong way down 295.
He took the wrong
I
way.
went the wrong way.
Shout to Aaron. Shout to Aaron. He's in the building.
Shout out to Aaron.
Shout to Militime NYC. He's in the building. Let's go.
So let's go. Yo, I took that 295. I ended up in the back by Baltimore, Washington, D.C. I found twisty turns like I never seen before.
That's hilarious.
I was like, but I'm driving in the dark, so it's dangerous.
Hilarious. You know what makes that hilarious? You had to lose yourself to find the best drive you ever had. That is hilarious.
Yes.
But we've all done it. We've all done it, man. It's definitely one of them shows today. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention, man. It has definitely been one of them kind of weeks. I know y'all been seeing the UAW workers strike.
Shout to them.
Shout to them. We stand with them, man,
Yeah,
because these car companies have been making money hand over the fist for the past 2-3 years.
Yep. Let's get your money. Y'all the ones that make it happen. Get your money.
That's a fact.
Y'all the ones that make
That's
it
a
happen. Get your
fact.
money.
Pull your mic up closer. There you go.
Let's go.
We gotta make sure we got Ace One. You know, he don't normally talk to everybody out here. So we here today.
Yeah.
But with that being said, man, shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. It is definitely a tsunami outside.
Yeah, it's ugly out.
It is a tsunami out there.
I didn't expect it. I started coming. I was rolling, and I was like, "Oh, it's not so bad. It's not so bad."
We don't got a choice. Don't got a choice.
No, we make it happen.
I
That's
did
it.
leave the house, however, and I was just like, "Yo, it's crazy out here." Wind, water turning sideways, man.
Yeah.
Reminds us of the Enter the Dragon run that we did. It was like that. We ran into a tornado.
Yeah, y'all
quick little tornado.
Yeah, y'all ran into the ugly. Yeah. I came up the bottom. It was wasn't so bad. I chased the dark though. I chased them dark clouds all the way.
That was crazy. But with that being said, man, we're gonna jump right in. First off, like I said, shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. We appreciate y'all 1000%. Shout out to Sales. He said, anyone needs scuba gear, hit me up.
Yo, Sales, what's good? I need that.
Anybody needs scuba gear, hit me up because it's crazy. I gotta say, though, I gotta say, I don't know what it is when it rains like this, when you get bad weather, but it's like everybody forgets how to drive.
Oh, man.
And that bothers me. There's times when I'm out here and I'm driving, like today, coming in, driving, and I'm like, yo, why is it like everybody can't get out the way? Shout to Seneca. He said, my next V got to be a manual. Wish I could find a CTS-V wagon at a good price. Now, whoa.
Yeah.
You looking for a legend.
CTC? Man, cut that check. It's the only way you're going to get it.
And you know what? Not for nothing. The CTS-V wagon, that to me, it's a legend.
Yeah.
And reason being is because it was supercharged V8.
Yeah. It was
manual that could move the kids.
Yes. Monster. War wagon.
It's just not gonna. I'm gonna tell you this. The ones that I did see, it's like dudes automatically took them to the track.
Yeah.
My homeboy actually drove one. He was working with a guy that was working for a magazine.
Oh,
and he had actually got his hands on one of them.
Yeah.
A CTS-V wagon. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Oh my goodness.
Man.
Shout to Seneca though, yo. We all with you. You know what? We all gonna be checking Facebook Marketplace for you. I'm gonna be sending you the links. If we found one, you found one. You feel what I'm saying?
Yo, what's the name? Yo, shout to the Wagon Elite Jerks out there. They get them. They got them out there. They show them.
Who?
The Wagon Elite Jerks in Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in their group because I do drive a wagon. They do post them on the, what is that? Bring a trailer.
Yeah.
They show them. But boy, oh boy, there's a lot of numbers back there.
Shout to SP. He said, Seneca, you looking for a diamond in the rough. It's easier finding a needle in the haystack. I will say this, however, I always appreciate people like Seneca. Like, there is only one thing I want.
Yeah. And and they're out there.
They are out there.
You will come out your pocket for it. For a clean one?
Nah, you never know. Let's stop that rhetoric right there, because there's a good chance you're gonna find one. Yo, we gonna put it out there. You're gonna find one garaged, clean, nice, that belong to some man who's sick or his wife's sick. God forbid. We don't want to wish that on nobody. And the next thing you know, they got to sell the car for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And they willing to take 40. I mean, no, let's keep it a buck.
Let's keep it a buck. Yeah.
How much was a CTS-V wagon when it first came out?
What was it?
About 55,000.
No, I think they were like 70. Just about 70, 65, something like that.
So you figure 70, 65, and then you find one for 50. You're in good shape, bro.
Yeah,
you're in good shape.
I've seen them 56, 48. I've seen them going.
I'm gonna tell you this, man. At the end of the day, shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. We appreciate y'all 1000%. Y'all already know. I know y'all stuck in there in the rain. We're gonna bring you your automotive fix for the day, and we definitely gonna talk about this auto only. BMW hates the manual. Is it truly over? Is it truly over for BMW as far as a manual transmission? You gotta hear what the CEO said. He said that. You read that?
I've read that, and I was
it's
like,
disgusting.
Yeah, it was unpromising. It was unpromising. Because he seems like he's giving up.
Yes.
He's giving up.
Shout to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. For those that are tuned in, don't forget, drop your name in the bottom so we can shout you out. Drop your name in there so we can shout you out. I just want to shout out everybody who's tuned in. Here's my thing, though. When you say that auto only or better yet, BMW hates manual, which is something I can't understand. Shout to my guy, Dolph Spalding, in the building. You already know how he get down. My thing is, then what are you making? And they say, oh, you know, it's energy inefficient. Shout to Zoom for Zoom was popping. He's in the building too. Zoom for Zoom. It's my guy.
All right.
It's my guy.
All right.
So my thing is, have they ever tried to make it better?
That's one thing that no one knows. We can't say. But that whole speech was just like, oh, they're inefficient. They're not as fast. People want fast cars, but it ain't driving manual. Ain't about being fast.
That's a fact.
It's not about being the fastest.
Shout to Tiny. What's good? Shout to my guy Tiny. He in the building. You know how he get down. He said, "What's up, Pop? What's good?"
Word.
Continue on.
Right. It never, for the people who drive those cars and pay the money for those cars, it's not about being the fastest.
That's a fact.
It's about the engagement of driving the car.
That's a fact.
Right. And for them to remove that from the car, the performance cars, doesn't make any sense.
And what was BMW known for?
That manual M3, the performance sedan,
son.
Car.
I gotta stop y'all, cause I gotta speak a little bit. Shout to wifey. Me and my wife was watching Mark for Death last night. If you ever seen Mark for Death, you already know there was nothing but 1,000 BMWs in there, cause you had a whole. But it was, it was about the Posse's drug cartel joint, Jamaican cat, Scarface. Millwall heaven, no Wawa dead. You already know what it is.
Yeah.
Right? Yo, there was a part, right, where he's chasing, right? He's chasing, I want to say this was a 535, four-door Beamer.
Word. Yeah.
And he's chasing it with the Bronco. And let me tell you, kid, these dudes was dipping in that BMW. They was like this. I was like, yo, they drove on the sidewalk, all that. They ended up driving through Macy's, and them getting their heads cracked by Steven Seagal. That's a whole nother part of it. But when you thought about it, like, what was BMW's biggest thing? What was their biggest selling point?
Yeah, what is it? The perfect driving machine.
Right.
Right. That's their whole slogan.
Say that again, please.
The perfect driving machine was their slogan for years.
Shout to Zoom for Zoom. He said, screw face? Me no screw face. Yo, that's my favorite part, son. Son just jumped out the window. That was wild. But
Word.
I will say, however, right, watching that BMW, like you said, is the perfect driving machine. This is what they were selling the car as. What are they selling it as now? They have completely lost their way.
Yeah, they're all their commercials now. I watch regular TV.
Yes.
So their commercials are now, half them are on talking about their e-cars.
Pull your mic up closer.
So they're all their things talking about their e-cars. Like nobody, I'm like, the e-cars, the performance of an e-car.
Like, who cares?
I'm like, I'm not into that. Yo, let's talk about
Shout out to Seneca, the ultimate driving machine. How did we get that wrong? Apologize for that.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Can't front. Not a BMW fan. There's only been a couple cars they created in their whole lifetime that I was actually in love with.
Yeah, I'm not a BM guy. I'm Merc all day. Let's go.
But so these are don't start the war up in here. But we will say, however, when this CEO said that, I don't know if what he had in mind. I don't know like what kind of reaction he thought he was going to get, but I'm not really like moved by it. And we have a whole group. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. We're gonna definitely put the group down here. Shout out to SP. He said it's absolutely possible to have quicker shifting manuals, but no one is trying to make it happen. And then that goes back to people's preference right now.
Yeah.
Do they want to drive it?
Oh man, people driving cars. People don't drive their cars anymore. People don't drive cars anymore. Cars are toasters now. Cars are cell phones now.
That's a fact.
They're accessories.
And that right there is the true reason why.
Yep.
That is the true reason why. And now you start to understand why the prices of some of these autos are going to be high up, aka or also like the CTSV wagon. Yep. The reason the price is just going to be high is because now it's going to be highly sought after by those who love to drive.
Right? People who want to drive their car are going to have to go find cars to be driven.
Shout to Marlon. He said it too, the ultimate driving machine. We just going to take the driving part out and call it no, we're going to take the ultimate part out too and just call it the machine.
The machine. The toasters.
Shout to Miller Time NYC. He said the problem is some people just want to be driven. And you know what? Don't get me wrong. I love to drive, but I like to be driven too.
Yeah, but if you're going to be driven, you might as well get a Bentley. Why are you going to buy a BMW?
Shout to Zoom for Zoom. And this is exactly what we talking about here. He said, well, when you look at all these fools crashing them Beamers on these IG videos, they all auto. People of this generation don't drive manual, so BMW ain't investing in that no more. And you know what?
That's true.
Is as real as it gets.
That is factual.
As real as it gets. Shout to Zoom for Zoom. Shout to Zoom for Zoom. Because at the end of the day, he's right.
Yeah, there's no point in investing what people ain't gonna buy.
Shout to Reeps. He said, I'm copping a CTSV in the next few months.
Here we go.
Shout to Reeps. We're gonna give him another round of applause. AKA Dangerous Danger. I know he hates that.
That man whole yard is scared.
Yo, wait till next week. Next week, right? Next week. Barbecue, baby.
Oh man.
Oh man. Can't wait.
Y'all gonna get me flying back up again.
We're gonna be flying back up here. I will say this, however, shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. We appreciate y'all 1,000%. Don't forget, drop your names. If you are listening, you haven't already, drop yourself in the comments. We shout you out. Shout to Marlon. He said people are too lazy today to drive a manual. But you know what, though? It's really about engagement.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say it's laziness, because I'm going to be honest with you. The only time a manual could, upset me, or not upset me, but, you damn, is when you just in bumper to bumper traffic.
Yeah, when you stuck in traffic, that's the only time you don't enjoy it.
Right.
That's the only time.
But
other time it's cool.
But even then, I'm so used to it. It's like it doesn't really bother me that much. But now, when you say lazy, they just unengaged.
Yeah. Your phone. They rather look at their phone. Mm-hmm. People rather look at their phone than try to drive their car.
And I think that's the sad part.
Yeah.
It's like, I'd rather look at your phone. Matter of fact, your car is your phone now.
Yeah, your car is your phone now.
And this is where we at right now. So my thing is, why would they try to make they said, we're going to try to merge them in. We said this earlier. They're going to take the fast drive and try to merge them in with the autos. And they've successfully seemed to have done that.
Yeah, and he's not wrong with his statement about that.
Let's go.
He's not wrong with that, with automatics and being faster driving cars. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're that's a proven fact.
But
these cars are that compared to a manual car on a track, it's faster.
Depends, because I gotta interject there. I gotta interject a little bit. Yo, killing me with this. I gotta interject just a little bit, because definitely I've went up against some auto drivers. But here's the thing: it's like, can it really replace the driver?
No. It can't. You a professional driver in a properly put together car is fast no matter what. So fast no matter what.
I'm glad that you said that.
Right.
Because I'm not gonna say I'm a superstar. Not gonna say I'm a superstar behind the wheel, but I know what I'm doing. Shout to my guy Draco. He's in the building. What's rolling? Oh, we up for a good conversation now. So my thing is always going to be, right, when I come up across a car, and the reason I even came up with this topic, the other night I was driving, and, I'm on my way home, and GTR, let me keep it a buck, R35 GTR, nice.
Yikes.
Clean, white, black, carbon fiber wing, nice. So, just off the rip, you already know what it is, right? I'm trying to get somewhere, and he's trying to get somewhere, and you already know how this goes. Shout out to my guy SP. Said, not for nothing, people who drive manual aren't the ones getting pulled over for texting while driving. Yo, that was actually That was actually a point. Shout to SP. That's what I'm saying. It makes you engage.
Yeah, it keeps you engaged in the car.
So I'm driving a Type R. Now, obviously, I already know. Okay, I already know what this is. He already know what I'm driving. He looking for lunch. You know how that go. And I'm like, yo, I'm not no easy meal. So here we go. We start getting it popping. Shout to my guy Ryan. He's in the building. Shout out Ace in the city. He said, shout to Ace in the city. Yeah. He like to pop up to the city and don't say nothing. He's like, oh, you here?
Yeah, we slide through. Just we show up.
You know how that goes. Shout to Marlon. He said shifting gears is too much work for them. That is a fact. Woo. So we get a little clearance. I'm setting it off. I'm not the one to wait for you to punch me in the face. I'm not doing that. So automatically we start going. I take off a little bit. He take off a little bit. I hit a little lane change. He hit a little lane change. You can see where this is going.
Oh, here we go.
Boom, 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 boom. But there was a point where we both headed for the same lane. You ready for this? We headed for the same thing. And I know my wife hates hearing these, but we headed for the same lane. I just happened, he was following me, so I just happened to have the momentum. So you know how we do it, manual. I downshifted.
So you drop.
I dropped from 4th to 3rd to get that extra little bit of
try to squeeze
like,
it all out.
And I took off and it closed out. You heard him.
Close the door.
Close the door. And I just was like, see, auto can't do that. At the end of the day, auto can't do that. Shout out to 13. He said, oh no, not to cut you. Ruthless got bead locks now. Streets is watching.
Say,
woo, drop it and pop it. Yes, that's exactly.
Let's.
This is what I'm saying, son. He got beads, so he gotta watch him.
Yeah,
you gotta know you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta watch him now.
Yeah, here we go.
It's all good. We're gonna probably have him on the show too. Shout to Will, man. We're gonna get him on the show too.
Let's see that.
But that's what I did. I was in 4th at the time, and not really taking it too high because I don't really do that with the Type R like that because it's turbo. I don't really like to stay up in the high revs. I can't blow this motor.
It's not built for that anyway.
But I can't. But it was built for that downshift though, and I was in R+ mode early. That's the only way I drive. Getting shout to the bearded one. But with that being said, there's just things that auto transmissions cannot do. And all I see on the internet every day, everything I see on the Instagram is most likely auto drivers. You got guys who claim to be the fastest in the streets and they auto. Does that really make them the fastest in the streets? Does it make it? I don't know. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
And the streets is the streets, man. The streets don't count numbers, man. The streets ain't real numbers. Go to the track. Go to the track. You want to be famous? Go to the track.
Facts.
Go put down real numbers. Come in with receipts.
Facts.
The streets ain't real. It don't count.
The streets is a myth. Shout to Troy Ave really hit it on that one. The streets is a myth. Shout to Seneca. He said, shout to Reeps. He said, put everyone on the show at the same time.
Oh God.
Shout to Seneca. He said, auto don't account for the gears you need. You still got a downshift. That's a fact. Shout to Reeps. He said, no track. Bearded had his Crocs in sports mode that night. Yeah, son, I was wilding, kid. Shout to Zoom for Zoom. He said, insurance companies should require anybody under the age of 25 to drive manual or make you pay a much higher premium rate. You will see less accidents and less cell phone usage.
It's true.
I would say less cell phone usage. But one thing I learned about driving manual, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. When I got my first car, I did not know how to drive manual.
Yeah, same.
When I got my CRX, my very first CRX, I did not know how to drive manual. Word. I had to learn.
Yeah, I learned on the job driving it that day.
I learned in the driveway because I couldn't pay the insurance. Y'all don't want to hear about that one. But in the midst of it, it made me better. Shout to Bushido. He said, part of the nonsense we're having now is these young knuckleheads realize you can have all the speed in the world, but if you can't swim, you in the back. That's a fact.
Yeah, it's true.
That's a fact. You know what though? When I learned how to drive manual, shout to everybody who's tuned in paying attention. If you can't, just drop a like where you at. We just want to make sure we getting up there, man. We know we got other automotive podcasts that is kind of making some noise. And, just want to make sure we show up too.
Yeah, room for everybody. Be outside, yep.
But in the meantime, I would say, like, driving manual, I feel like it made me a driver.
Yeah, it makes you focus more on driving.
Way more aware.
Right? You have to be more focused on what is going on outside of just you.
Facts. Because
you just going through the gears, you end up messing up bad.
Facts. I feel like I was way more aware. Like when I'm driving my Type R, I'm way more aware. Period. Whenever I'm driving now.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm even more aware when I'm not driving. When I'm watching somebody else drive, I'm like, I wonder if they see that. If they see this. It's just, I don't know. It just increases the senses. And I gotta say, shout to Reeps. The number is 516-206-0711. I would say that it just makes me way more aware. For those that want to call up to, we forgot to put that band at the bottom, but everybody knows what it is. Let me put the phone number down there. Bang, bang. There we go. So with that being said, it's like it makes me way more aware.
Yeah.
Way more accidents I done got myself out of.
Yeah.
Driving manual.
Yeah. It does. It makes you hyper aware.
Facts.
Because you gotta be like, do I go up a gear? Do I go down a gear here? What's happening over there?
Right.
Can I get through that hole if I drop 2 gears?
Right.
Like,
and that, how often was we? We're not gonna say here.
Don't incriminate nobody.
Not gonna listen. We passed the statute of limitation.
I tell you what though, I don't live here, so we can talk about it.
Listen, there's been many a times where, like I said, I closed the door. I don't know, like when this GTR ran up on me the other night, I think in his head he just think that I'm just out here just driving the Type R. And, and I get it. But to me, you out here perpetrating the fraud, driving that GTR, thinking you're gonna do what I do.
Yeah, he thought that he thought those extra cylinders could get you.
Oh no, but at the end of the day, I've learned how to negotiate. Here we go. All right, I don't know if it's gonna come. Let me see something. It sounds like it's coming through here, right?
Yeah.
Rally Radio, who we got in the box?
Top of the day, gentlemen.
Oh,
time,
shout to everybody who's tuned in.
All right.
Miller time, what it is.
Yeah.
Call. Let us know if you can hear the call in the comments. Miller, what it is.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on, Miller?
Well, you already know I'm not a manual guy because I haven't been taught. It's not like I'm not willing to learn.
Right.
But I have to come up with the funding to get the vehicle so I can get that, and I don't want to spend a whole lot of cash.
That's what it's gonna cost now.
Too.
Yeah.
You're gonna come out of pocket now.
But you guys are right. But I was on the highway yesterday all day, from 12:30 midnight till I pull up in my house at roughly 12:30 in the a.m. So I did a full 24-hour shift because I was coming from my favorite place.
Right.
Whew. But this time I took a different route, and that different route was nice.
Okay.
And all right, so I'm gonna shout out the numbers to you.
All right.
95. 26.
Nice.
70,
Shout to home. 26.
70,
That's me.
77.
Okay.
77. That's straight up me.
81.
81.
78.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
You was outside.
Word, you was straight outside. 26, 77. You passed right through my hood.
You was outside. So let me ask you a question though. So that's your regular mission. We're gonna start saying now. That's your regular mission. That's Miller's regular mission.
Yeah, you can call it that, but that was a different route because I always told you me and 95 spent a lot of quality time together. But pause.
It's the vernacular in here. It's the vernacular in here.
But I think you guys talked about it the other day. I think somebody had a conversation. It was like 95 is straight boring. And matter of fact, my brother was talking. My brother was talking. He was like, "Yeah, 95 is just straight cars, trucks, highways, and trees."
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
But when you go, and it was crazy because once I got on the 26, once I got on the 77, and then when I hit 81, trucks, cars, trees, land, livestock.
Hold up, Miller. Hold up, Miller. We got some people out here. It looked like SP said, "Tell Miller time I got him. Lessons on me. New clutches on him." And shout to Seneca. He said, pick up an old Mini Cooper.
That's a good.
Yeah, he said pick up an old Mini Cooper.
Yeah, you can get Mini Coopers for the low.
Keep going, yo.
All right.
Mini Coopers are the move too.
I'm gonna have to get my bottles and cans together.
Yeah.
But so with the combination of like you guys described, I mean, you know, I wanted to go to Dragon's Tail, but I had a little taste of that
Yes.
when you go through 81.
Yeah, 81.
Yes.
You have a lot
touches
of
that.
curves.
Uh-huh.
Going uphill, Lord knows how many times my ears done pop.
Yes.
Word. 81 touch. That's right. 81 runs right next to the Dragon's Tail. That's how I got this.
Shout to Jessica Grandy. She said good afternoon. Shout to my guy over here, Dr. Phil. He's in the building.
Yeah, I tried to sneak in.
He said sneak in with the camera.
With the bright red on.
With the bright red on. So with that being
so-
said, Miller,
Yeah,
so here's the thing, right?
go ahead.
I think that whether you learn how to drive manual or auto is not really the thing, because you enjoy what you do. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going. We can't hold you to that kind of standard because you enjoy what you do and you starting to enjoy it more. So I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh, Miller's not a driver. He drives."
Yeah.
Nah,
No.
because he outside.
For real. Miller drives for real.
See, my problem is when you try to perpetrate.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you're like, wait a minute, fam. I gotta say this. Like you ain't holding it down the way you think you are. You know what I mean?
Like them G35.
and you know
people.
what's even more crazy? Check this out.
Uh-huh.
You know, when you're driving, you're jamming, you listen to your music, whatever. This time, I had the music low enough to hear it, but low enough, just enough so I can also hear my engine too.
There you go.
Shout to my guy Mo. My guy Mo is in the building. Shout to Mo. What's popping? Zoom for Zoom. You ready for this, Miller? Zoom for Zoom said comparing auto drivers versus manual drivers is like going to the arcade and saying, do you want to play pinball or play Street Fighter 2? I'm about to turn the whole show off. That hurt I feel attacked. That hurt my feelings.
We may have to have the governor officials come knock on his door. He's treading that vehicular manslaughter charges now.
He hurt my feelings.
That vehicular treason, he's going there. We're gonna have to knock on the door. We're gonna have to have Automotive Homeland coming to get him.
Yo, he hurt my feelings right there. And you know what? I like both games. I don't mind the pinball machine, and I'm not mad at the Street Fighter. Auto is easy.
So-
Is that SI, Sean? He said auto is easy street. You already know with comments like that. You already know.
Mode.
Shout to SI.
Yeah.
Shout to SI. He's tuned in.
That's Superintendent SI.
My thing
That's
is,
Superintendent right there.
my thing is always going to be when it comes down to manual versus automatic, right? I don't know. I just feel like it just really made the difference in what kind of driver I was going to be.
Yeah.
Like I could have literally just drove an automatic car and been like, yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna just rock with automatic. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Nah, cause in the beginning, when we used to go to the races, all we had was an automatic.
Yeah.
But what we saw was everybody driving manual.
He's driving manual.
So that's when we was like, yo, we got to drive manual if we want to be part of this.
Yep.
Which brings me back to what I just said earlier about bringing the music down so I can hear my engine do its thing, because I can know, because I was out there driving and it was like, these people, what are they doing?
Right.
And then I have to be in, sometimes you have to be in survival mode because you got those babysitters.
Facts.
God,
The babysitters.
stop babysitting the lane you don't need to be in.
Yo, that
It's called passing lane for a reason.
Man.
If
talking
you're
about
not
the lane
passing
campus.
me
Yeah.
and you're in front of me, mofo, move your butt.
Shout to Reeps. Reeps said I'm a perp. He said my cars are all auto. Ooh.
Yo,
My man.
Miller, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you took that 77. I know exactly what you're talking about. Drove right through where I'm from, where I'm staying now. All they do is camp together. Two people sitting next to each other, they ride next to each other, conversating. It's ugly.
And then you pull over to the right lane, and then all of a sudden they see you trying to creep up, and what do?
They speed
now
up.
they want
find
to
the
pick it up.
gas
Now they want to pick it up.
Yeah, they realize.
So-
yeah.
So you know what?
Flowers out of here, man.
You know what? I call those. I call those the drag races because they don't want to go nowhere. Till I want to get some. And me and my wife was just having this conversation. I swear to God, we was in the car, and I'm like, look at this dude. He ain't want to go till he saw me. And you know what I do at that point? And I know everybody's gonna be like, yo, I know you don't do that, Pop. Yes, I do. I cut them off.
Absolutely.
Blip.
Absolutely.
Blip.
Those have to get cut.
I'm sorry.
Highway gangster.
You know what?
Once I get you past the quarter panel, I'm going. It is what it is.
I'll get you going to like 80, and then I lay off. Let you go ahead. Go. Now I don't gotta worry about you because now you going.
But you know what though, Miller?
Yeah,
Here's the thing at the end of the day. First off, shout to you. You know why? Because it's gotten to that point now where you started to delve deeper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's what's gonna make the difference between. Like I said, you drive auto, but what do like the driving experience that you're getting is what you want.
Yeah.
You're not out here perpetrating like, oh, yo, guess what? I went out there and bought a new Mustang auto. Like, oh no. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and I know there's guys out there that's listening right now. Shout to Zoom for Zoom. I know he like, yo, we just said this. But to me, it's like, I just can't, it's hard for me to respect it. It really is. If the car comes manual and you don't get it's like, I got to look at you twisted. You feel what I'm saying? But now if the car don't come manual, it's like I can't be mad at you.
Yeah, that's different.
Because you got to reach to get that. Like, let's talk Porsches, right? Shout to S.I. Sean. He went and he drove a Porsche 911 GT3 RS, right? He said it was auto.
What, they had the PDK or is auto?
PDK.
Yeah, that PDK is a beast.
Yeah, it's a beast, but it's like, you know, cats do want the manual. But if that's the only way you could get that car, am I mad that you got it? No,
not at all.
And do I think you perpetrating a fraud? No, you obviously know something about these. If you bought that one out of buying all the other ones.
In fact, you know what? I still get a call from Toyota. They keep telling me, "Well, we got a Tundra, blah 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 blah." And I asked them, I said, because I already know the answer because I went to the last auto show I went to.
Yes.
The technicians over there or the specialists that were there, they were telling me they don't do V8s anymore.
Nope.
So everything they do is V6. And my brother always told me, he said, "Look, I know how you feel, but don't sleep on the V6 because they have tuned it and they tweaked it. But hang on to that thought." So they called me. They still have my number. So they tell me that. I'm like, all right, well, do you have anything used with a V8? And when you do, get back to me, give me a call.
So here's the thing with that, though, right? Again, this is politics playing a part in what people are building now.
Yes,
it is. So this is why I say you can't. It's like it's hard to say knock Toyota, or you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Especially what they doing with the GR, like the GR brand. What they doing with the GR Corolla. They actually made the Supra manual. They actually took it back to the drawing board and made it manual.
Toyota's giving people what they asking for. The Tundra is you get a manual Tundra.
Facts.
That's madness.
Yeah. Facts.
Like what? Yeah,
shout to Seneca. He said manual made me a better auto driver. I can brake boost better because of it. I hear that.
Yeah, I hear that too. I mean, that's why I'm saying I'm never going to be. I'm not going to say I'm never going to do it because that's also part of being a driver. It's like in my job as a train operator.
Right.
All I have done was passenger service. I never did work trains. But work trains is the meat and potatoes of being a train operator because you know how to add and deal with different types of equipment.
Yes.
Yeah, I deal with different equipment in passenger service, but it's a whole nother animal dealing with work trains. That's how I see manual because that's something that I should learn because I may come across a piece of equipment that I would not qualify to operate. Yep. And now I'm screwed because I can't operate it. And then in certain cases, certain scenarios, there are times when you have to learn it as you do it, like you guys were just mentioning earlier. You didn't learn how to do manual until the situation actually arrived and you had no choice but to do.
I'll say
It
this much.
rounds you out as a driver.
I'll
It
say
makes
this
you
much.
All around driver now.
We can't knock
Right.
we can't knock Miller's operation. Me and Miller was in the same train operator class.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we were.
Can't knock his operation. We already know. We used to get a kick out of it. We was like, yo, whatever you want to do, we can get it done. We be moving these trains. You are right about that. And that's how I take everything. Like when I learned how to ride a motorcycle, I learned all of these things I did because I wanted to be well-rounded. You feel what I'm saying?
It makes you more well-rounded. The more stuff that you engage in your what you want to do, it makes you more well-rounded. Right. So learning manual, driving a truck, driving a bus, driving, a motorcycle. All this stuff is all engagement in driving a car and in street driving. It all adds up and it comes back and it makes you a better driver in general.
And that's how I shout the ace right there. Yo, Miller, we got Wow Show left. We appreciate you for calling in as usual. We appreciate you for tuning in.
Shout out to your guest. Shout out to your guest doing his thing.
And we got Dr. Phil in the building. We got to slide the camera back so everybody can see him. We on one camera right now. But at the end of the day, matter of fact, if you slide over one, I'll tell you this much, man. Miller, keep pushing. Yeah. You already know what it is. At the end of the day, we all gonna get there. But with that being said, we appreciate you for tuning in. You already know what it is, man. Thank you, Miller.
It's always an honor and a pleasure to be accepted into the auto society. The real auto society.
Thank you. We appreciate that. And we got some other drives and things coming up. We definitely got to do one more before it gets cold. Fall is already here. You know what I mean?
All right, gentlemen, keep teaching. I'll keep learning. I'll keep hosting.
Let's go, Miller. You already know what it is. Shout to him. All right, Miller.
Thank you.
Peace.
All right, guys. Be good. Be safe. Take care.
All right, later. Shout to everybody who's tuned in. My man Phil is in the building. Dr. Phil is here. Shout to Dr. Phil.
I done snuck into place, and now, I'm saying, I'm feeling a little better. I done got myself situated.
There it is.
Man.
Let's go. Shout to Marlon. He said the V6 twin turbo Tundra tows more and makes more horsepower than the V8. The number game always sounds good.
The numbers game always sounds good, but my thing with the V6 versus the V8 is how stressed is that engine. The V6 is definitely a lot more stressed. Like, it's built to a higher standard. It's built with stronger materials, but at the end of the day,
even
you running boost through it to do what a V8 is doing naturally aspirated by itself.
Right.
So the V6 now has to contend with boost along with pulling whatever you have in the pull.
Included weight.
Exactly.
Facts. Shout to Seneca. Shout to Darth Spalding and work trains for life. Let's go. Respect that. You gotta understand that's a whole different level of operation right there, son. Shout to everybody who's tuned in. You already know how it is, man. With that being said, I do have some information, however, and this is, we don't want to dishearten the chase, but we sometimes gotta know what you're up against.
Definitely.
Over its 4 years of production, there were only 1,767 CTSV wagons built.
Yeah,
you know that? I didn't know that.
That's a super rare beast.
Just 514 of them were manual.
Yeah.
And only 42 of them was opulent blue metallic. The color didn't really matter too much, but I went to look just to see how rare one of those cars are.
Ultra rare.
If you want a CTSV wagon with a manual, you're paying at minimum 80,000, and 80,000 is on the low end.
But I will say this:
somebody beat them.
I will say this, however, continue to chase.
Yeah, always.
And if you get one, don't forget to post some pictures because I want to see it too. Shout to Seneca. I could really respect that because even when I was looking for my Type R, it started to get crazy.
Yeah,
because they hadn't announced that they was coming out with an FL5. It was everybody thought the FK8 was it.
Yeah,
like they're gonna do it for 4 years and
that's it.
That's it.
Do no more.
And we talking about a time where the car did cost me more used than it would have cost me brand new. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I continued to chase and I found the best one I could get my hands on. So and like I said, the more I drive it, the more I love it.
That's the thing about cars, man. My motto is if you're gonna be spending the money anyway, you might as well drive what you want to drive.
Yeah, get the one you want.
Get the one you want. Like, yeah, sometimes it's gonna be more expensive.
Facts.
Yeah, sometimes you're gonna pay out the nose. Yeah, the wife might not like the fact that you're paying out the nose and she probably can't drive it.
Yeah, but not say nothing.
But
$200 a month, babe.
But if you spending the money and you look outside, if you spending the money and you sit in your living room and you looking outside of your driveway,
facts,
and you just shaking your head, you just nodding your head like, it makes that's mine right there.
It makes me happy.
It makes me happy because we on this earth for a limited amount of time. So you got to do what makes you happy and get what you want to get.
For real.
It's a fact, man. Shout to Seneca. Not to knock it, because trust me, but I'm telling you, yo, that's the thing I've noticed, man. A lot of these things be unattainable until you really want it.
Yeah.
And you be shocked the things that
how resourceful you can get.
So shout to Seneca. Good luck on that chase, though, bro.
What you willing to give up or not take?
Shout to Militime NYC. He said, amen. Drive what you want. So with that being said, man, we got a lot of show lined up for y'all today. Shout to Uncle Phil or Dr. Phil. He's in the building. We was going to talk about the shark biters today, but it's like we said we're going to talk about shark biters, and now we got nothing but water outside. So we said, it got crazy real quick.
To swim a little bit.
But we had some things lined up, and we could talk about it a little bit, but it's so much more going on in this world of autos that it's hard to ignore. And like I said, we're going to get into the CEO of BMW saying he's totally over manual transmission. So with that being said, you got any shout outs you want to give, Phil?
It shouts to everybody doing their thing on the road, man.
That's what I'm talking about.
Shouts to everybody that, don't camp in the left lane.
Say that again.
Shouts to everybody that don't drive next to each other
early
in every lane on the highway.
Early.
You know what I'm saying? Shouts to each other shouts to all the people that don't see a whole bunch of traffic in front of you. And you camping in the lane, you camping in the only free lane next to somebody else.
So y'all can hear that he actually hates the lane camping. I just want to point that out.
I despise lane camping.
I just want to point that out.
Lane camping is one of my biggest pet peeves on the road.
Not a fan. Word up. I can't stand it either. Ace, you got any shout outs you want to give?
Oh man, shout to New York City.
Let's go.
Shout to Carolina. Shout to Rally Radio. Shout to Gutterballrally. Shout to everybody who knows, been a fan, been a part.
Let's go.
Gutterballrally since day one.
Shout to Seneca. He said I was looking for a Honda when I stumbled on this BMW. Tell you, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes you never know what you come across, bro. Yeah. Everybody know I was in the market for a Hellcat. That was, and I stumbled onto a Type R. Trust me, I get it. Trust me, I totally get it. And everybody knows that too. They be like, yo, you short a couple cylinders? Like, nah, I'm just fine, bro. Trust me when I tell you. I'm just fine. So Seneca, trust me, it's going down. I want to say shout to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention, knows who's rocking with us on a Saturday afternoon. We appreciate you. I want to shout out Whip Fanatics. I definitely want to shout out a couple other people that we hopefully going to get on the show. We got this JDM Engine Depot. It looks like we're going to be able to get them on the show. And we're going to be talking about import and export of JDM parts, and the way the prices have ballooned,
skyrocket.
The prices have went stupid. But we're gonna talk about a lot of that too. I want to shout to everybody that's rocking with us with that. But with that being said, y'all know how we get down. You ready to start the show?
Yeah, let's do it.
Like we ain't started already. Here we go. So you already know how we get down. Normally we do our recaps, but our recap was pretty interesting last week. And we're going to save that for SI. SI right now, he's handling some business. So shout to him. Shout to him. You know what I mean? And when he come back, you already know what it's going to be. But for now, we're just going to jump right into what we have for the show. So let's get to it.
Weekly specs. Auto news for all the listeners, only on Rally Radio.
All right, we're going to jump right in. Like we said before, BMW CEO seems totally over the transmission, the manual transmission. This guy is hilarious. And like we said before, this is BMW has been known to be the ultimate driving machine. What was one of their selling points was they wanted the suspension to be faster than the car, right?
Yeah.
They wanted the suspension to handle the car. So speaking to M boss Frank Van Mill, he said the manual is slower and results in a higher fuel consumption and sometimes has also a lower top speed. So the manual actually, from an engineering standpoint, made no real sense anymore. He goes on to say that offering a manual transmission nowadays is just a heritage thing. The M2 is, after all, going to be the last BMW M car with a clutch pedal.
This doesn't make
any sense. Shout to Zoom for Zoom. He said you're gonna get J. Ask them why they always selling effed up motors. Oh no,
gunshot.
Yo, I can't front, kid. That was. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh, but we definitely gonna try to get them on the show too. Yo, that was a shot. Shout to Zoom for Zoom. That was hilarious. What's your thoughts on the M2 being the last manual BMW car? What's your thoughts on that, Dr. Phil? What you think?
I feel like BMW's lost their way completely. BMW's lost their way a long time ago. Ever since their that same M boss got poached by Kia. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna talk about that. Yeah. But just the way that that's the boss of M talking, the motorsports division.
That's scary. Unquote. That's scary.
That's the way he's talking, and you can see it by the cars that they're making today. BMWs today, their M cars are definitely more focused on luxury than the actual driving experience. BMW
the X3
today,
M.
Exactly.
Yo, hold on. No, every time somebody bring up Kia, Draco be F Kia. He just throw that sword in there like, shout to Draco.
But it's a sad day when Kia and Hyundai care more about driving dynamics than BMW.
Ooh, wow. Hold up. I
said what I said.
We got a knock on the door, and it's BMW, Ford, and Dodge. He wasn't happy with that comment.
Barricade the door. Phil got to stay.
He got to stay. Continue on. So that's my thing. First off, the N74. It's funny you brought up Hyundai. It looks like Hyundai's moving forward with that. They have not said if it's going to be a hydrogen, EV, whatever, but they're moving forward with that as part of their N line. It came out recently. Right now, it looks like they trademarked the name N74. So it looks like they're going to move forward. That one that looked like Back to the Future, it definitely looks like a DeLorean. I can't front with a hatch DeLorean, but
it's going to be reckless.
Looks like they're moving forward. So when you say that, right, and it's like, is it that Hyundai and Kia had the formula or BMW had the formula? Because BMW made the luxury and they made the performance.
It depends on the people that are engineering the cars. Because it's not that Hyundai Kia had the formula. Hyundai and Kia are willing to get the guy that had the formula.
Wow.
So they did it with, again, their lead vehicle designer they poached from Audi.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The lead engineer that's the lead guy that's in charge of vehicle dynamics.
Yes,
is literally the former BMW M boss.
Fact.
So they went out and they got people. That's why all of a sudden it seems like Hyundai came out of nowhere and bought off the conquest body lines.
Yeah, you see that too.
Yeah, I see that. But the thing, as I said, it seems like all of a sudden Hyundai came out of nowhere with. It started with the Veloster N a couple of years ago, and nobody expected anything from it because we all remember. The Hyundai Genesis was okay at best, but next thing you know, they figured it was like, all right, Hyundai's coming out with a hot hatch. I'm like, all right, I guess we got to drive it. And then
it's funny, I still feel that way, but continue.
But you see, the thing about it is say you look at just watch a review.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen a single negative review about that car dynamically from any automotive outlet.
Shout to my guy Seneca. He says smiles over gas miles. And he said, I'm at 8 miles per gallon and I'm loving it. Whoa. I hear you too, but that,
Hey, smiles per gallon over miles per gallon in a day.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Shout to Seneca because 8 miles a gallon is crazy. Wow. That means you got it. Yo, I'm not mad. I'm not mad because it's not mileage in the city like that. We got but 8 miles though, son. I'm not mad at him though. Shout to
8 miles is hard.
That's how I said Hyundai is outside. Stop it. Stop. Yo, let's not get that far.
Yeah, Phil. But, yeah, I was just saying, just to say that it's a sad day when Hyundai cares more about driving dynamics and how people feel behind the wheel of their cars than the quote unquote ultimate driving machine.
Whoa.
He ain't wrong.
That's a quotable right there. Don't be shocked. Y'all see that on Instagram later. Shout to Dr. Phil here. What's your thoughts, Ace? What is it?
I agree, man. Like they completely lost it. When they put in the M badge on truck on all these SUVs.
Yes.
Like what happened?
Put the M badge on an electric SUV.
Yeah, on an electric SUV. Yo, what is it then?
The IX-M60.
I'm like, yo,
what? The IM? What?
Yeah, I know. Like, yo, the M468, what? 460i wagon. Not the wagon, the convertible. I was like, yo, wait.
Trash.
What happened? Why is everything getting M badges?
So you think the same? You think that have they lost it and they never coming back, or what do you think?
They're going in a whole different direction though.
And like they're never coming back.
Yeah, I don't. There's going to be hard for them to try to come back when other people have really put their foot right into that space, right? Like Phil said, Hyundai decided they're like, yo, we're going to step. We want this space. Yeah. Y'all gonna mess this up. We want that space. They come put their foot right in it.
That they did.
Like those Genesis, the Genesis line of cars,
yes, are
designed gorgeous.
So do you think that they had their fill of it though? Because all right, let's look at it from a business aspect. Like I said, like you said, he runs the M division, so that's scary.
Yeah.
Because that's the performance side of it. And he's like, yo,
motorsport division.
And he said it's just a heritage thing. That I feel like it's like you calling the people who've been buying your cars old.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I feel like you should never, ever disparage those that came before you.
Yeah.
Or those that was created before you with the same look in mind, that they were trying to create a faster track car.
Absolutely. But you see, here's the thing though. Look at it. You know what? He's absolutely right. It is a heritage thing.
Yes.
But I can feel like the context that he's speaking in, he's like, yeah, well, people drive manual, man, it's just a heritage thing. Versus somebody at Porsche, which is just like, no, it's a heritage thing.
Yep.
Say that again. It's where the comment is.
It's context.
It's the context of the whole
like
thing.
You have again to bring Porsche into the mix. Porsche has a specific trim line of their sports cars, the Boxster, the 911, the Cayman.
Yes.
It's called the T. T stands for touring. So 911 T, Boxster T, Cayman T. It slots just over the S, just underneath the GTS.
Yes.
But the T models are specifically the driver-centric models. So you get all of the stuff that you get in an S, but it's a manual transmission. And even with the Boxster and the Cayman, it's the 4-cylinder. It's not even the 6.
Right.
But it's a manual transmission. It's usually the lighter version. They try to take as much weight out of them as possible. And it usually has the best suspension, like the GTS suspension, the GTS brakes, but just with the S engine and the base at base weight. Again, they're doing everything they can, and again, throw the manual in there, and they're doing everything they can to show that we care about the heritage. We care about the quote unquote those. We care about what got us here.
Right.
Yeah.
Those that came before us.
Those
We
that
understand.
came before us.
Yep.
So here's my thing now, and trust me, we're not done with BMW by a long shot because we got a whole nother topic coming up with them. Here's my thing, and this is what I really think about at the end of the day. When you say as the performance division that you're not gonna make a certain type of performance car, and we've been saying this all week. Shout to SI, we've been saying this for a couple shows. All they're really doing is just taking a regular driver and merging it in.
Yeah,
with the performance driver, and they're like, this is gonna be cheaper for us.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So when you say heritage, it's like, but people are gonna want those. The real performance guys are gonna want those.
Exactly.
They're gonna sell. Name me a performance car right now that's still sitting on the shelves that can't be sold. Name me one. I'll wait. That's not sold out when you go to the dealership.
Yeah,
that you can't find.
Yeah, Halo cars.
Not one.
Halo cars come off the lot.
And
You build them because they're Halo cars. They come off the lot.
So what is that saying? That's saying that these cars sell.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me that, it's slower from an engine, it's less fuel consumption and less gas mileage. Yeah, sure.
I didn't know fuel consumption and gas mileage mattered in motorsport.
Thank you.
That's not why you buy one.
That's not why we buy it. But then again, that just goes to show how much they've lost their way because he's talking about efficiency and fuel consumption. It's like, yo, fam, I'm getting 7 miles to the gallon anyway because my foot is going through the floorboard.
Yeah.
Shout to Seneca.
I didn't buy an M
Shout
car to
to
worry
Seneca.
about gas.
Exactly.
I'm not buying an AMG
As
to
a
worry
matter
about
of
gas.
As a matter of fact, the gas mileage on the current M cars is terrible with the automatic.
That's a
Yeah.
fact.
Because if you look at an X3M right now, I believe the MPG numbers are 15 city
And like 19.
23 highway.
And my thing
And
is,
that's with an 8-speed auto. So now you telling me with 8 gears, I'm getting 15 miles to the gallon in the city?
at the end of the day,
I thought it was supposed to be efficient.
Where's the
Because
efficiency?
it's shout to Reeves. He said the Nissan Z is still sitting in the showroom. It's actually not.
They move.
It's
These
actually
actually
not.
sitting in the showroom
They
for a
move.
different reason.
Right. It's sitting there because they don't want to sell it.
They want 90,000 for a regular.
Right. Now, see, those are the kind of things that keep a car sitting there.
Right.
And then it looks like the numbers are bad, which is why
Exactly.
we don't get the performance cars that we're going to get.
Right.
Me and SI talked about that. But on the side note, it looks like this is not BMW's only issue. It looks like BMW has a stop sale of all gas-powered motorcycles in the United States over emissions. Just came out yesterday.
That's bad.
This is very interesting.
That's
BMW
bad.
it's a stop sale notice that applies to its motorcycles in the U.S. effective immediately. The stop sale covers both new and used motorcycles at BMW Motorrad dealers across North America. The stop sale notably affects only BMW's combustion-powered motorcycles, leaving the fully electric BMW CEO4 as the only model that will continue to be sold by dealers for the duration of the stop sale.
But I'm
The
not buying one.
The EV model is excluded from the stop sale notice because the problem that prompted one of the biggest bike makers in the world to halt sales in the largest market in the world traces to the evaporator system in the motorcycles. As a statement from BMW North America reads, it says BMW North America is dedicated to providing vehicles to our customers that meet their expectations. To ensure that our vehicles are of the highest industry standards, BMW performs ongoing testing and evaluation. Following a recent quality analysis, BMW is pursuing measures to further evaluate the material used in a component on its motorcycle evaporator system, which may not have been produced to material spec. As a result, BMW North America is issuing a temporary, voluntary stop sale for all new and pre-owned BMW motorcycle models in dealer inventory.
So it's voluntary.
Holy crap.
So number one, it's voluntary. So you don't have to not sell them.
If you wanted that S1000 RR, now you got to get it used.
Yeah.
The prices just went up.
Yes, it did.
And I mean high.
Yeah.
Think about this for a minute. They just stopped selling gas-powered motorcycles. Now, let's be honest here. Been riding the bike for some years, right? When BMW finally said they were going to make a great street bike,
Yeah.
everybody was like, because we've seen the other touring bikes and things that they've had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure, bagged up for the old man, right? But when they said they was making that S1000 double R, Cats was like, oh boy.
Interest. Let's look.
And from the ones that I've seen on the road, the ones I've seen, them things are fast.
Insane.
Yeah, they hustle.
And now, stop.
That's it. No bikes. Not just that bike, no bikes.
And no used bikes either.
Not even. You go get a used one from someplace else. You're not getting it from the dealership.
And you already know.
They're like, no.
Wow. BMW has a problem.
Listen, and they said, what is it? It said material in the component. So it's not even like they even like, no, it could be a hose. It could be a plastic in an evap system in a piece of stick.
This sounds more like it's something that they like it's probably going to fail later. It sounds more like an issue of they're trying to prevent a recall versus them pushing their electric bike.
Yeah, so that's definitely what that sounds like.
But here's
what this sounds more like.
But here's the thing: if I'm gonna sell you a bike for $16,000, and let's say the part costs $1,000, I'm gonna sell you the bike for $13,000, and I'm gonna just take the win on 12.
When it breaks, bring it back.
Right,
got you.
Come back,
stopping the sale, and this is voluntary.
Yeah.
So this leads me to believe it could be a material that mixed with something that goes in the evap or the fuels that it turns into something else that you shouldn't touch or something like that.
It's a rubber hose that gets cooked with the gas or something that deteriorates. It's like, let's stop that before anybody gets hurt.
Exactly.
Before we got caught, before something happens, we got to come out.
Or next, they're looking like Ghost Rider going on.
Oh boy, Johnny Blaze, that's hilarious. That is hilarious.
Nobody wants a Toyota.
Here's my thing, though.
That Toyota recall.
Here's the thing, though. At the end of the day, when you look at it, right? We talking about BMW. You know what I mean? BMW talking about, we not selling bikes. And like they said, they become one of the biggest in the market in a very short time.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You figure Suzuki, Yamaha, Honda. These bikes have been a triumph. A lot of these bikes been around for a long time.
They cornered that global touring bike thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people are into that.
Yeah. A lot of people.
Them joints where you could take them anywhere. You take them on long distances. There's people riding from the end to end. From the east to the west coast on a BMW on them Grand Touring bikes, man. They could do light off-roading. People riding to work because they're comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
I see them.
They all over.
I live down in the country. You see them, boy. Them people out there and they outside all day long on their bikes.
Yeah.
This is why I say at the end of the day, there's a lot of things going on in BMW right now. A lot of things we don't even have no room for. I'm just like, it is what it is. That's what y'all want to do. That's what they want to do. On to other news. This is very interesting. I know y'all remember we talked about the Tesla tough guy. Y'all remember that?
Oh boy.
So there was a Tesla tough guy. Every time he ran into a situation, he was hopping out the Tesla and he's actually putting it back to people's windows.
Yo, I remember that dude. Yeah.
You never seen the video? They call him the Tesla road rage guy. I call him the Tesla tough guy.
I've seen those videos.
He was mad. He hop out, start hitting people's windows with bats and all of that.
Yeah, I remember
Talking about you want some problems. He had a black t-shirt, white dude. You know how I get down. So it looks like he's getting 5 years in prison. We about to see how tough he really is.
Well,
you know what I say. Whenever we run into people like that,
it's the understeer.
Yeah.
What up? We like to ask, what the hell are you thinking?
Southern California victims of road rage have finally received a small bit of justice.
Yeah.
They report that the notorious road rage driver who gained the name of Tesla Road Rage Guy has been sentenced to 5 years in prison for his actions. Social media called him the Tesla Road Rage Guy and it's stuck, but his real name is Nathaniel Walter Rademacher. If my name was Nathaniel Walter Rademacher, I would be road rage too. But it looks like in late 2022, Rademacher targeted at least 10 people who also happen to be mostly women. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wait till Tiny and Scar hears that in the pit.
Yeah.
It's the understeer.
What? Late women?
super tough.
Mm-hmm.
Shout to Zoom for Zoom. Hell yeah, hitting people windows. He was hopping out in a series of road rage attacks. He was attacking people, hitting them with bats and all kind of stuff. People was running. It was crazy. It looked like they caught him. And his criminal history is going back over 20 years that span 8 states. One woman from ABC who spoke to the ABC said anonymously she recounted her encounter with Rademacher on the 101 freeway in November 2022. Her dash cam caught the video incident and helped lead this conviction. See, my thing is they choose the right people.
Choose the right people.
Because he'd have ran up on the Type R. Yo. He'd have caught everything.
Oh, yeah.
The spare, everything. I'd have took the seat out the car. It'd have been worth him saying something to me.
Yeah.
For me to crack his skull.
Yeah.
And then when that's all said and done,
Yeah.
I'd have charged his car so he'd come see me later. You already know what it is. You don't want no problems.
Boy, stood right in front of the camera. You see my face. Come on back. You see me.
I'm shocked that somebody like this is running around.
As you said, they know who to choose. They know the right people. You shocked because he ain't looking for you.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't see it. Hey, look at him. Look at who he's dealing with. He's dealing with mostly with.
Yeah.
I wish.
Oh,
I wish. Imagine your wife come home, say, some dude stepped on a road rage incident.
We gonna sit in that intersection.
And you know
that's it happened. We gonna sit right there.
That's my thing. It's like road rage is wild. We've done seen road rage take people lives.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me after all this, you trying to I'm telling you, he hop out with a. See, my thing is, once I see you hop out with a weapon like that, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you come hop out with the pistol. Oh no, you going with the hands? Oh yeah, we can mix it up.
Yeah, we can handle that.
We do not condone violence in these streets, though. Let's make sure we get that across.
Don't do it.
No violence in the street. We don't want nobody hurting nobody. But shout to SP. He said not to cut y'all. Almost thought about jumping ship. He said this Audi e-tron GT was looking right. Oh no.
Oh man.
No.
Yo, I almost got murdered by one leaning out the bus. They sound like the Jetsons when they drive by.
Yeah.
I was like, what is that? What was that?
Listen, I'll say this much, man. For somebody with road rage in a Tesla, that's about as hilarious as it gets for me.
Exactly.
That is about as hilarious as it gets, man. It's definitely been one of those.
His screen stopped working. Something happened.
Fact.
What happened? There gotta be something went wrong in there.
Nah, but they said at the end of the day, he just be wilding like that for no reason.
Yeah, they said 8 states.
Yeah,
he's wild out in 8 different states.
Word. Shout to SI. He said e-tron. Get the hell out of here. Hell no. But you already know how we get down, man. It's the bearded one here. We got Ace one in the building. Got Dr. Phil in the building.
Word up.
Now how we get down, man. We got a little bit more info for y'all just before we move it on here. It looks like Jay-Z's iconic off-white Lexus GS has been unveiled at the Book of Hove exhibit in Brooklyn.
Wow.
Shout to Silver Cocaine Aristo. I know this dude has already been there and he drooled over that car, son. Wow.
Looking fresh out of 1994.
For real.
How much did it cost to redo this thing?
It doesn't matter though. Somebody had it. It don't matter.
Nah, it matters.
Nah.
A lot of these car companies they'll take on the cost of restoration.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm surprised because Lexus didn't do it.
Yeah, Lexus might have done it
for real.
Well, we're gonna get into it a little bit
because
they actually did.
Yeah.
See,
Lexus has collaborated with Rock Nation, the brand founded and chaired by Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z. 1993 Lexus GS300 at the Book of Hove, a new exhibit at the Brooklyn Public Library. Have you been yet, Dr. Phil?
I'm not.
I want to go. Now I really want to go because I want to see what this is brand new.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
There's only one other car I've seen done to this spec that a rapper has had. Well, two. One was LL Cool J's Audi. That's actually been added into the Hip Hop Hall of Fame.
Nice.
And the other is Ludacris's 93 four-door Acura Legend.
Yeah.
So you don't have a lot of these from the dealer companies being
From
done.
the company, collaborating.
He's not a musician, but Mazda did. I don't know if you remember Alfred Morris, a former running back on the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, Mazda did his Mazda 6.2, did an old 626 for him.
That's right, they did. That's
Yeah.
right, and it was a while ago too.
It was a
little while ago. I remember that.
It was one of them early 626, one of the boxy joints.
Yeah.
I think it was like a 91 or 92. And they say he rolled up the day he got drafted. He was driving that joint, man. Yeah, Mazda did his car too.
Shout to Zoom for Zoom. Zoom for Zoom said there's no way that's the same Lexus. He said there's no way. I say the same thing. They said the exhibit of Jay-Z's off-white Lexus is situated next to the Central Library on Eastern Parkway. That thing might get booked. I don't know. Yo, it might get booked. It said the special exhibit.
There's a 2J under there.
It's the special exhibit is already one of the most popular libraries had with 250,000 visitors already. But I mean, this thing is completely redone. We definitely gonna post some pictures on our Instagram page. Don't forget, follow us on Instagram at Gutterballrally or at Rally Radio. This is definitely different. You don't see too many people, like I said, do this.
Yeah.
This is something I think everybody here that listens to our show would love to do this for one car.
Yeah, definitely.
Brought back to spec.
We'll take it to the dealership and have them go through and put it back together.
That's a fact.
Would love it.
Shout to Jay-Z. I don't know if he had anything to do with it.
Probably. He made the phone call. Somebody made phone calls.
Somebody made a phone call.
Somebody made phone calls.
And
that's not something that just gets it done.
And I mean the photos, like even the headlights are like projector almost. Yeah. It's like I never noticed that.
That car was way ahead of his time.
Way ahead of his time.
That car was way ahead.
Shout to SI. He said, "Is it manual? You already know it ain't manual, fool." But yo, they even have
from the law with that. That ain't no manual.
Hey, no way. Yo, it actually has the license plate from the video.
Yeah.
It has the old school New York license plate with the Statue of Liberty in there, blue, white, and red.
Classic.
Shout easy top 5 plate. Easy
Shout
top 5 NYC plate. Easy top 5. There's a couple of nice New York plates. That's easily.
That's definitely one of them.
That's easily one of them.
That is definitely one of them. I mean, shout to Jay-Z. It's pristine. It looks like they had like how did Zoom for Zoom say? Maybe they had another one sitting somewhere.
Yeah, you know,
and just swapped it. Like
you know the deal that they got parts in warehouses that they just don't go into. So somebody they're like, yo, they made phone calls to Nebraska who got parts. They call everywhere. Yo, who got anybody? You got one of these in your thing?
Worst comes to worst, they'll make it.
Yeah,
and not for
they still got they still got molds and stuff.
Yeah,
they can put it all together.
Not for nothing. I feel like that's kind of what they did, but there's one thing I'm noticing that's different here. There's only not really different, but that I've seen. The logo, the Lexus L is gold, but it's not as gold as it. You know how that one used to be gold.
The gold plate. Everybody ran that gold plate.
And it's two-tone.
No, they ran two-tone.
No, they did. But I mean, I'm just saying it's two-tone. And where did they get those wheels? You're not finding this.
Nah, you can't. Yeah, that's not something.
You
don't just get that put together. You make a lot of phone calls, and it costs you a lot of money because you getting shipped from Anchorage, Alaska, from the Lexus dealership in Anchorage, Alaska. Because they got a honest set of
opinion.
wheels.
I feel like this car probably went through a process, and I would love to hear the story on it. I know they documented it, and I would love to see it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like with 50 Cent redoing with him doing Power Book or Raising Cane.
Yeah.
Right.
Those cars that they have in that TV show or in that video, you know, there's one guy in NYC who owns all of those cars.
Yeah.
He owns that 850i, that yellow 850, and we already know those cars are like, forget it. Yeah. And in the condition that he had in it, that cranberry 325i convertible, you don't find stuff like that.
But you know, there's people who
shout the KDA treatment because I see they just redid a blue one.
Because there's people like
theirs is pretty sick.
There's people like Jay Leno, you know, who keep cars and keep them pristine and running.
Yes.
Just have them.
Yes.
Why do you collect? I liked it. I wanted it. I keep it. I spend the money to put it to keep it running. So if I decide to take it out and drive it, and what he does is he keeps them, and then people call for videos and shows and movies and stuff like that. He rents them out. He pays for all of it.
And that's how. And listen, you sound like you Diddying for a minute. Sound like he Diddying. You know how Diddy did the locks, yo. We gonna charge you putting this Bentley in your video.
That's
son.
it,
I don't know what to
that's
do.
it. What? That's why you buy. That's why you buy one. What? That's what I was gonna do with that Lambo.
Shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. We appreciate y'all. You already know what it is. The bearded one,
Ace One in the building.
Dr. Phil.
You already know what it is, man. We in the building. It's definitely going down. We got one more thing we're gonna talk about. We just gonna move right on, man. We got whole nother segment for y'all. Hope y'all ready for it. You know how we get down. This is for the performance orientated people in the building. You know how we get down.
It's Tech Talk with Pop the Bearded One and S.I. Sean.
Shout out to S.I. Sean. I know he's out there. He's listening.
Hiatus.
With that being said, man, something came across my computer, and I wanted to share it with y'all. It looks like there is actually a manual swapped Ferrari 458 Speciale.
I saw that video.
One-off masterpiece.
I saw that video.
And the reason I wanted to talk about this car today is because what we talking about with what we are talking about today with BMW hating the manual.
You're talking about ending the manual.
And you got one guy who spent all of this money
to turn his automatic car manual.
You gotta say.
Oh, it ain't just one guy.
Well, you know, there's a whole bunch of them.
That's the thing.
There's ones we don't hear about.
That's
right.
It with Ferraris in particular, it's becoming a very popular trend to manual swap. There's a shop down in Texas, I believe, that's doing a lot of Ferraris right now, especially they specialize in the 599.
Wow.
And remember, the 599 came manual, but there's only like 15 of them that originally came manual.
Tremendous.
How many came to the States is the real question.
Like, actually, I think they say it was 20. I think 10 came to the States.
Wow.
See, when you hear now,
ultra rare.
When we get into this Ferrari
700 bands to sniff one.
Yeah.
And one of the original manual cars.
Yeah.
when we get into this Ferrari 450 Speciale, and not only that, everybody knows this is one of my unicorn cars. This is like a car I would love to have my hands on. Like I said, it doesn't come manual, so it's like not really something I could do about that unless I am this guy here. And his name, which to me is like one of those like I said, one of those things that you just don't really get a chance to do. You don't hear a lot. I don't know anybody who has done it. I don't know anyone. I only know one person that owns a Lamborghini, and it's like that owns it outright. Yeah. And it's like I can only imagine, you know?
Yeah.
But it looks like this thing it has an owner, but he's keeping his name hidden.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to get bombarded with sales offers. Man. People
For
try to
real.
buy that.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Could you imagine?
Because people brought one. It doesn't come manual.
Yes.
I want a manual one.
Exactly.
They drove it. They drove their automatic one. They're like, this is cool. I wish it was manual.
That's a fact. Shout out to Zoom for Zoom. He said I was watching a video where a guy manual swapped the SL 500 AMG. So
yes,
the only other person that I could think of, and that I could think of off the top of my head that did a swap that was ridiculous was Lewis Hamilton. with his AMG swapped manual. Was it Pagani?
That was a Pagani.
Yeah, the Pagani.
You know, somebody crashed that thing.
Yeah.
He sold it and somebody crashed it. That
the purple joint that he had.
right.
Oh,
The reason I wanted to get into this is because,
of course, you got money to get one, you can fix it.
well, yeah, well, you know, he was trying to do the cleaner climate planet thing, and then everybody called him in the nasty.
Yeah.
Manual revving down the street. They were like, "Oh my God,
That's
what's happening?"
Because it wasn't street. It's not street legal at
Right.
all. It wasn't.
Shout to Reeves. That's him. That's him in the hat. He said, "That's my guy. That's Ace. He's in the hat."
Yeah, that's me.
So the thing was, right? I wanted to talk about this because it's just the conversion itself, right? Guided shift on the inside. Oof.
That's right. The gated shift.
Gated shifter.
Oof. That is, oh my
It's
goodness.
gorgeous.
It's like the more you look at the car, and like I said, it's what a Ferrari Speciale is, you know. It's gonna come with the 8. You already know.
It should have been. Let's put it that way.
But you know, they always have their challenge models, the 360 to 355.
Yeah.
We talked about those. Those actually made the legends of auto a couple times. And when I see stuff like this, it's like, well, why couldn't Ferrari do it?
One thing about Ferrari. Ferrari is probably I can't stand
No vehicular trend. No,
I cannot stand Ferrari as an organization.
He says
Ferrari as an organization is just absolutely ridiculous.
Well, he said organization.
As
an
an organization, I'm not talking about the cars.
Okay. Because
as an
vehicular
organization,
treason, we was like, don't commit vehicular treason.
Nah. But it's the reason they didn't is because they made the decision back in like 2009 that they were no longer making manual cars.
The Mondina.
Because at the time they figured, well, there's more people buying the F1 trans cars anyway.
You just set it off. Who's calling? Let's see. We got a caller. Rally Radio. Who we got in the box?
Yo, what's going on, man? It's Reef.
Yo, Reef, what it is?
Oh, man, what's good?
Yo, when I found out it was him, though, and next to you, I gotta tell you a story about that guy right there. So there was somebody in your group chat. It's time to go back years ago, like when I first went in there. It was about to be a grudge race. So I forgot who asked me to put up a picture on my engine bay or whatever the case is, but you know, I took a picture and I put it up on a small angle so that there was a lot of things that were hidden.
Okay.
Your boy right there next to you was the first person to see every single thing that was in that blur zone. And I got a phone call within 5 minutes and they were like, yo, whoever that dude is dangerous and he knows what he's talking about. Do not put any more pictures of anything. He knows what he's looking at.
Yo, it was Yakko who called you. I know that.
Yeah. That's exactly what it was. He was like, yo, he knows what he's talking about. Do not post any more pictures. That dude knows what he's looking at.
Yo, you know what's funny? I know exactly the comment. I know exactly what I said. What
I don't even honestly, I don't. I remember like the short thing, but from that day, I was like, all right, I can't tell him too much. I don't want to talk to him all that much, but like, yo, at the end of the day, you all are being cool as hell. I was just like, yo, here's the real pictures. Here's all of this and that. Like, you all are being, like, honestly, like, your group was mad love, bro. I've enjoyed it ever since I've been in there.
Yes.
Man. Thank you. We appreciate that.
Not for nothing.
Appreciate that.
Not for nothing. He is responsible, partly responsible for even my love for cars. Import Tuner magazines, Sport Compact Car magazines, going back to Lowrider magazines.
Yeah,
he used to have all of them, and then you know what happens? I get a magazine. He finished reading it. I'm looking at him like, oh,
yeah, I was the battery. I was the source.
So trust me, Reeps, we already know what you're talking about.
Cars was my thing, man. I was into cars bad.
So I'm glad you did call though.
What's up?
Because you said something in the comments, and you know what? We definitely wanted to get your take on it.
What's going on?
Auto, manual, or does it even matter to you?
All right, so listen, I'll be completely honest. What I said in the comments, I was actually honest. I did have my Mazda used to be a manual. I did swap it over to auto. Now, remember, everybody has their own personal situation and everybody has their own personal reasons for doing so.
Facts.
So, being that I knew how to work on my car, I used to love driving the RX-7 when it was manual, and I've always loved manuals. I got into a bad motorcycle accident. So that put me in a wheelchair for over a year.
Wow.
So driving a manual was obviously impossible for me.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was like, the injury was so bad, I didn't know that I was going to ever be able to walk again. So that's the reason why, like, in the wheelchair, I would wheel myself to the garage, and I took out the manual, I took out the pedal, I made everything automatic. Now, I don't regret doing it because my personal hobby is I do like to drag race, and going auto is faster than manual. But as a daily driver, I would definitely choose manual.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't know that, my dude. That's that. I'm glad you walking
for real. Glad you made that.
Yeah, I was on a bike, you know what I mean? And I was honestly, I was actually the calm person, even though I used to do wheelies and all the other stuff. Like, I was a bug out on a motorcycle, but I was riding with a dude that was inexperienced. I guess he was trying to wheelie or something like that. He was like a couple of 100 yards behind me. When the wheel came down, he kind of lost control. So
let the bike go.
He slammed his bike into mine. It was on the BQE right off of Maurice Avenue. He slammed his bike into mine, and he kicked my leg up, and like my shin slammed up against my slider.
Wow.
And I broke the tibia and fibia. So I honestly, like, remember, when you wind up getting into some kind of an injury, especially when the injury is still there, it's still fresh, like, you don't know if you're ever going to be the same again. Because before, I was in my 20s at that time, mid-20s, and before that, I thought I was Superman. So, you know, all of us think we're indestructible, and then one day we wake up, our back hurts, and it's like, what's that?
I feel it now. So, continue on. Word up.
You wake up, you're like, yo, what happened?
Damn.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's when I was just like, you know what? I mean, the whole automatic thing came into play, but like, when I do drive around the car right now, I do feel a lot more comfortable, especially like when I'm in Pennsylvania, going through the mountains and everything. I love driving a manual. My wife, unfortunately, doesn't know how to drive it, and she loves to drive also. So, God forbid something happens to one car, I need her to be able to drive the second one. So that's the reason why everything wound up just being automatic.
First off, that's a reason I didn't even think of. It really is. I didn't even think of that. Like, you do have people who are like Shout the Reaps. He came out of that, but you have some people who don't. And that's it for them. So they gotta find a different way. So shout to them. Shout to you, Reaps. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, when you come to the crib next week, Cheyenne, you gonna be out here next week too?
Nah, brother, I'm leaving Monday.
I
mean that.
This is a family show. I kept that comment to myself. If it would have been a personal phone call that he would have answered, it would have been completely different. So, yo, when you get over here, even though my car's automatic, I'm gonna throw you the keys next weekend. Taking a ride around the block, whatever the case is. It's not a normal automatic, it's manual valve body, whatever. But see, if God forbid, I mean, my wife is gonna feel awkward in the car, but God forbid, in case of an emergency, something ever happened. Let's just say I had an accident with one car, the battery's dead on another one. You know, it always happens.
And then you look at the race car,
any car in the driveway.
Oh my goodness! I will say this. Reese he been like, yo, here, man. I am the one when somebody gives me the keys to their car. I've always been the one. I treat that thing way delicate. You know what I mean? Because I've had people. I don't want to crash it because I can't afford to replace it.
Honestly, I'm gonna give you a warning. Just be careful when you're going from first to second. That thing is gonna kick, and I just put regular tires on it. It might go sideways on you.
Sheesh. See, when I hear stuff like, you got to be a real wheelman to get through something like that. But
or if you want, I'll take you around the block first, then I'll throw you the keys and get out because I'm gonna have to cook for everybody.
That may be better because I gotta like watch what you do. Not for nothing. See what it does. Because we're talking about a lot of power. We're not talking about like
because that thing
little 300-400,000.
That thing is nervous.
That's a serious piece of machine. Shout to Reaps. Shout this family. Shout to all of y'all. They definitely said they down to host a little bit of a barbecue. This is gonna be great. And hopefully the weather's better than it is this week.
Yeah.
Oh, hopefully, because honestly, I'm not looking to start. I'm not looking to like grill on my scuba gear.
I hear you, man. I hear you. This week was actually a wash. I was even mad seeing this turn into what it turned into.
Yeah,
but
I got hot when I saw the rain. I was like, oh, come on.
And they talking about till Monday.
Yeah.
So it's like it just washes the whole week.
Yeah.
So let's just hope this how it plays out. We definitely got a drive that we want to do when we get out of the show next week. So and then from there we taking it straight to Reaps. We get I gotta get, like I said before, his garage is the most functional garage I've ever seen.
And what's funny is that I don't know, maybe I'm just spoiled, but I actually ever since the first time you said that, I remembered how my old garages were, and I had no room for anything. I remember at one point I had to climb out the window of the Mazda, and at first I thought it was because I was a little on the chubby side, but when I saw my kid climb out the window, I was like, it's not because I'm fat. It's just this is just reality. Like the garage is small. So I got a decent sized garage now, but I don't know. Like I just don't appreciate it as much as I should.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you, it's set up. It reminds me of like it reminds me of a place where you know how you could go in and that real estate that's around your arms, like a great music studio. If you ever seen somebody with a great music studio that produces great music, everything is within arm's distance, but in the garage, it's a little different. It's not that it's just in the immediate space. There's nothing in his way to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everything's weird.
Music is popping.
Yeah.
He got the table over here with the beers on it.
Yeah.
The cars on the jack stands right in front. The engine hoist is here, and then the other cars over here on stands ready to be worked on. I was impressed.
Actually, I just finished putting that transmission in my kid's car like 2 days ago because he was in Texas. And at first I was like, you know what? I'll do it for him. And I was like, you know what? I ain't doing nothing for this kid. He got to do it himself. You want to enjoy the car? He got to build it. So it took a month and a half for him to get back, but he wanted to throw in threw the transmission in there. We threw the drive shaft in there. Now we got to start getting we got to get the wiring harness, and I guess the exhaust will probably be done.
Oh man, I can't listen. So at least we get a glimpse of it next week. Y'all get to see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This is and we definitely gonna go live from there so everybody can see. Everybody's in the group. This is how we get down.
You know what? Forget about the way I dress. I gotta make sure that I let the wife know that y'all going live, because if she finds out y'all went live and I didn't warn her, oh boy, I gotta deal with it later.
Yeah, don't get yourself in trouble.
Well, look, don't get yourself in trouble. And we gonna finish the show strong.
Cooking in a button-down t-shirt.
Oh no. We're gonna finish the show strong. Yo, Reaps, we appreciate
guys.
you.
Have a good one, man. Everybody stay safe out there. It's always great talking to all of y'all.
Yes, you already know. And thanks for that insight right there, too. Thanks for that,
man. Take care.
All right,
be good, yeah.
Peace.
Later.
That was some different insight. I didn't think about that.
Word, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there are people who are injured permanently. And when there was a guy, I remember he was building a lowrider like that. He was in a wheelchair.
Word.
And he was sitting on the engine replacing stuff. I said, damn, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, I gotta say, since we are in tech talk, right? I had a run-in, I want to say. Have you ever had this happen to you? Where you buy something and it's like it doesn't end out to be what you want it to be?
Oh, man.
I gotta return my Mishimoto. I got a Mishimoto front mount intercooler, and I thought I got a deal. I got to put this out there. First off, shout to Seneca. He said there's a company with a manual kit for the 599 that costs less than repairing the transmission.
Yes, it does.
There it is. There it is. That's
woohoo!
Right, so beat it.
Woohoo! Shout to my guy Dawspo. This is another great show. We appreciate you. So
for all the Mustang people out there, there's a shop in Pennsylvania, manual swapping GT 500s, the new body GT 500s. Just throwing that out there.
Oh,
what's the cost on there?
Believe it or not, they say if you choose to sell the DCT that comes in the car to offset the cost.
Yes.
You get out. Yeah, you get out of there at about maybe 12.
Oh, God damn! and that's letting go of the transmission that you had in the car.
That's getting money back from the other
My
transmission.
goodness.
Yikes.
In other words.
Yeah.
But I will say, so I bought this part, right? I bought this intercooler, upgraded intercooler, and you can see the difference too. This intercooler is like, it's huge. Pause compared to the stock intercooler.
Yeah.
The only thing was, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I was cruising around on Amazon, and you know I follow a lot of these companies. And Mishimoto had a box, had like an open box for sale.
Open box sale.
So it usually costs about $1,300. I got it for $600. No, it costs $1,400. I got it for $600.
Yeah.
I'm copping it.
Yeah.
Say no more. Boom. I'm copping it. One box comes to the house. I'm like, yes. The intercooler comes. I take the intercooler out. I'm looking at, oh my God. Said box 1 of 2. Okay, well, maybe they're gonna send number 2. I'm waiting weeks. I waited a week. I didn't get the second box. But then I said, you know what? I'm still coming out on top.
Yeah.
Because if it's $1,400, all I got to do is buy intercooler piping.
Yeah.
They don't sell it. They don't sell the intercooler piping. So then I said, well, there's other intercooler piping kits.
Yeah.
Right.
They won't fit. PRL, it seems like it only works with either their intercooler or the stock intercooler.
Mm-hmm.
The HKS only works with the HKS intercooler.
Of course it does.
So now it's like, I'm like, damn, I was looking at HPS. They have an intercooler, and I was like, I could get it. And Engine also has one. But it looked like it's like when I'm looking at it, it's not enough pieces. So I gotta send this intercooler back. And right now,
so what happened to the second box?
Never came. This was me.
So you got Ace for the second box?
I don't know if I got Ace for it. I think that's one of the reasons why it was open box. They never sent it the first time to the guy. So I'm sending it back to get my bread back. But damn, I really
that hurts.
And I'm like, so I'm looking at the numbers compared to the PRL intercooler, this intercooler, and I'm like, I was so ready.
Yeah.
I bought that. I bought the MA Performance front pipe.
Wait, quick question.
What's up?
Was it a gold Mishimoto?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Is it
No.
You didn't get the gold one?
Say, nah,
I'm not sending it back.
If it was a gold, yo.
Gonna say, don't send that back.
Yo, we'll fab something up.
Right. So yo, call him man.
You know what I mean? Like, I know people that do fab work.
And you know
we'll
what?
make it work.
For real.
It's 2.5-inch inlet charge piping.
Yeah.
And that's really the difference.
Yeah.
Is that there's no other
Nobody
kit
else does one.
that was 2.5. Everybody 2.25. Some of them are mainly stock. They just making the stock stronger.
Yeah, just straight. It's straight, no hard bends.
Hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
I gotta send it back. But man, I started looking at the numbers. People was making like 30, 40 off
they pull numbers
the
out.
intercooler.
Yeah.
Because it has a heat issue. So I bought the MA, I bought the PRL high volume intake. And I bought the PRL 3-inch the PRL 3-inch front pipe, which is going to go to I'm getting the 3-inch Tomei exhaust.
Yes.
And I'm going with the 3-inch MA Performance downpipe.
Oh my goodness.
With the titanium charge pipe going from the turbo into the intake. Oh man.
She gonna be ready to breathe.
That's and I was hoping to have this together.
That nice little Mishimoto.
It's out the question, but that sucks. I can't front. It was definitely it was a downfall for me.
Yeah, that hurts.
But with that being said, man, we appreciate everybody who tunes in, who pays attention, who's rocking with us. We appreciate y'all greatly. I'm glad to have these two gentlemen on the show.
Yeah. Anytime, all the time.
I appreciate these guys, especially the opinions of these two gentlemen, because sometimes, like your opinion, we listen. And we listen to your opinion. And it's like, it's always a contrast. And I like that because there's always two sides to a coin. So shout to y'all.
Yeah.
Shout to y'all. Shout to y'all. So with that being said, we're going to move right on to our next segment. You know what that's going to be.
Right. Driver's etiquette. Because sometimes you got to get this off your chest.
Oh, man.
Right. We are here in the Driver's Etiquette. Shout to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. We appreciate y'all.
Shout to all of y'all.
For those that are tuning in, don't forget, man, drop a like, drop your name, let us know where you at. And this driver's etiquette is going to go out to everybody who actually drives something with performance. Shout to Cedric Melbourne. He said, yo, Shaw was good.
Was good.
He's in the building.
Yeah, we made it.
So, if you got to choose, right? Let's say you got to choose the car that you really want, but it can only come auto. Would you get it? And I always feel like this question it always really tells a lot about people.
Yes.
You would?
Yes. Yes, I would.
The car that I really want that only comes auto, meaning
Let's say, for instance, you go to get it, and all they have is auto.
No.
Wow.
He said that quickly.
No.
Wow.
Now, and that's why I said y'all answers always contrast. And that's a perfect example. Because now we get to find out, Phil, why?
Because I'm not driving that.
You're not gonna drive.
Simply put, if I want a if I research top to bottom on if it's a vehicle that I'm planning on buying for my own purposes, for pleasure purposes.
Yes.
I'm not talking about daily drive. Daily drive is a daily drive.
Yes.
But if it's gonna be my bout it car and I hit the dealership, it was like, yo, sorry, Mr. O, you know what I'm saying? We only got the automatic version. But we have the automatic version. I'm out of the door before he finishes his sentence. Like,
so
I'm like, all right, well, thank you for your time, and I'm gone.
It's funny you say that. First of all, shout to Miller Time NYC. Says shout out to those two gentlemen and their perspectives. You know how that get down. Like I said, everybody appreciates y'all perspectives. Cedric said, he said that's easy. The GT3 RS, like whether it comes auto, man, you're walking out the door with it. Shout to Draco. He said, how far are we from the conduit? Because Betty is living into the square circle. That sounds like his car is about to be ready.
Oh, boy.
And Reap said A1 is a legend. Ace1 is a legend in GBR. I'm happy to see him on the show. SP said only comes auto. You built it. He said if you build it, they will come. And Darth Spalding said, not going to be satisfied driving an auto when I came and looked to find a car that's manual.
Exactly.
And that was me as well. When I went to get that Hellcat, I was ready to sign mine. I was ready. Whatever's going to be, whatever overtime I got to do, whatever I got to sell.
It's going to make it work.
I'm going to make it work because I want it.
Yeah.
And they stood there. And he said, we don't have the manual option for the Hellcat. No more. And I was like, what do you mean? I said, I priced it on the internet. And he was like, nah, we don't have it no more due to chip shortage or whatever. We're not doing it. I walked out.
Yeah,
right. Then they tried to undersell you, right?
Right. Then he tried to undersell. He tried to give me the Scat Pack. We could do the Scat Pack manual, same thing. I don't want that.
My homeboy down south, straight shout Marvin. He was a garbage man up here. He's down south now. He runs a Scat Pack straight up,
right?
Manual charger, gray. And he was like, yo, matter of fact, I told him that story, and he was like, yo, what to go from a Hellcat to a Honda? Your boy's crazy. I was like, nah. He know what you want.
You know what you want.
That's a fact. I get it.
That's
I understood what happened.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people will go for that Scat just because. I mean, hey, if that's what's it, and you know what I'm saying, I'll take that. And you know what I'm saying, I can't fault him for that because if you want the manual, you want the manual.
Yeah,
and everybody knows there was no shame in it.
No,
that's what I want.
Yeah,
I wanted.
Absolutely.
I went. My wife was sitting right there when he said we ain't got no manual, and I looked at her. And she was like she knew.
Yeah, that's it. Show's over.
That's it.
That's it. Show's over.
She didn't even interject. She was like,
well.
All right, so let's just go get in the car.
Yeah, we going home.
Because they only tried to sell me the auto, and I said, I'm not doing it. I just couldn't do it. And you know what? Like I said, buying a Type R. Now, obviously, you know, people were, when I pulled up with it, everybody was like, oh, yo, you bought this instead of that. And I'm just like, gotta understand, like, this car is like, to me, is very more versatile.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very more versatile.
Yeah, it's way more versatile.
You feel me?
It can be used more as a car too.
Yes.
Right. Whereas the Hellcat is kind of
forget it.
It's kind of scary.
And you know what?
Right.
They have taken the level from Honda, BMW, Infiniti as the most stolen. Like
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For real. Those joints get got every day.
So why auto?
Why? Or you know what? Because it's what I wanted.
Okay.
Right? It's the car I wanted.
Mhm.
And if I can't get it in a manual,
Mhm.
I will take it in an automatic because it's something that I wanted.
Mhm.
If I put the time and the money to, to search it out and to find the one I want, color, spec, everything,
Mhm.
I'm gonna take it.
Mm.
I'm gonna take it. Now if it came in a manual,
Yes.
we're gonna hunt down a manual.
Yes.
But if it doesn't come in a manual, we're gonna go with the automatic because it's the car I want. Yeah. It's gonna be my money that I spend, and it's going to bring me joy every time I hit the key and it starts from my house.
And I can't front. If it's one thing that would drive me to drink every time, is just hearing that cold Hellcat. Oh my God. I may not even go to work.
I can't even lie. I can't even lie. When dude comes in there with that scat pack, and he reverses. And he does like everybody who drives a manual. He's like, yo, here come Marvin. He's at the end of the parking lot, at the end of the bus lot.
And it's like you can't help but fall in love with that thing. Shout to Draco. He said 12 stacks to climb a tree. No, I'm good. Militime NYC says, always great to walk away from there often when you know what you want.
Yeah.
And shout to Cedric. He said PDK gearbox is the GOAT versus manual gearbox any day. As a diehard enthusiast, I could live with it. However, having a manual 3RS or GT3RS would be sick, even though the car would be down on performance.
The number, he's right. The numbers will be on lower than the PDK.
Yeah, but I don't get the same feeling when I'm max rev though.
Yeah, but the driving engagement is different.
Say that again,
right? And so the numbers won't be the same. It'll be the PDK is going to have higher horsepower and whatever, but when you drive it, it's going to feel completely different. You're going to be way more engaged, way more in tune with the car.
That's a fact.
Think about it, man. That engine revs to 9,000 RPM. 9 grand.
I've driven one car that did that.
And you're S2000?
No, it was
Evo.
No, what was it? It was a RX-7, 12.8 RX-7.
Oh,
that old. He let me drive. I would rev the none of that until he screamed and then drop.
And you telling me you want to flick a paddle?
Nah, I can't.
Nah.
Sorry, I can't do that.
I can't. I was even imagining what it would be like to drive a car that big and weigh that much manual, and I was ready for the
It's believe it or not, it's
gonna
not
roll the boat.
Bad.
It's really not.
It's not bad.
It can't. It's got because it moved. The engine's gonna make that car feel way smaller.
You know what it is? It's funny because them cars, they got the big TR6060, a big Tremec box.
Yes.
And it's got the offset shifter. So you hear the shifter's right here and it's offset at an angle.
Ooh.
So you grab that
and you feel
boom. You feel,
it ain't like no.
It ain't flimsy.
Yeah.
So now they're really enjoyable to drive, man. The challenges are fun.
I think that ultimately, maybe it wasn't for me to have then.
Yeah.
And that's really just what happened. I'm just gonna chalk it up to you because I chased it down. It was
you did. I remember,
you know what I'm saying?
I remember the hunt. This man hunted it for like months.
And the thing was, you could go to the dealer, but then you got to be careful what dealers you go to. Like I did a lot of homework.
Right. Because you were like, only certain dealers get Hellcats and only certain dealers would be able to get you one.
And then who's not gonna play you on the upcharge? Because they even though at that time they didn't really start that yet. It was starting.
They were starting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's really like, nah. And I wanted one since they came out.
Yeah.
I wanted one since they came out. But I just, you know what, man? It just wasn't for me, for me to have. And I'll look at it. I will have one. Just not now.
It. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm just gonna enjoy this Type R for what it is. And not for nothing. Like I said, there's times I drive it and I say to myself, you know what? You ain't do half bad, bro.
Nah.
Because now for this Type R, when I get in this thing, like you said, when I started up, and I back it out the driveway, and I start taking off down the street like this. Straight grin from ear to ear. So if there's one thing I will say, man, that definitely is, one of those cars. So for me, shout to y'all. I love to hear the contrast, and I knew I would get it. I was like, I knew I would get it. I knew I would get it. So with that being said, we have another segment we like to do, but unfortunately, SI Sean is not in the building at the moment.
Oh man!
So it looks like I'm gonna have to fill in for the time being.
Oh snap!
Because there's one car that I love talking about, especially when it comes down to legends. I feel like there's a lot that's happening, especially with this car, or that happened with this car. So we're just gonna get right into it. You ready?
Legends of Auto. Real legends never die.
So, with that being said, shout to SI Sean. We just filling in for right now. This is his segment, not mine.
The hiatus, he be all right.
He will be all right. But with that, shout to Facebook. He said, quick question on battery life. How long should you change it? To be honest, when it comes to car batteries, I would say 5 years, 3 to 5.
Yeah, it really depends on
the
usage.
Brand.
It depends on the brand. It depends on usage is a big thing. If you like to sit in your car in the parking lot and just have the radio on, you know what I'm saying? If you
Optima battery.
Yeah, you need an
if you sit if you sit in the car and you be having all the lights on and you're a heavy drainer, just spend the money.
Or if you don't drive your car at all, spend a little extra to get
you a proper battery.
But I would say if we got to go at a time between either 5 to 7.
Yeah,
for a great battery, 5 to 7.
Yeah,
for a mediocre brand, 3 to 5.
Yeah,
you need to be and look at the battery too.
And like if with regular usage of your car. Yeah, about 3 to 5.
Yeah.
Start looking inside there. Start looking at the battery. Start minding your lights.
Yeah.
Do the lights go dim when I'm driving? Do I start the car and does it make a lot of noise?
Pay attention to that.
Hard to start. Yeah.
So with that being said, we're gonna jump right into this Legends of Auto. The Legends of Auto today is going to be the 1995 Nissan Skyline GTR R33 from the original Fast and Furious.
Oh,
now, for those that don't know or do know,
shout to that car. All right.
Shout to that car. Yo, don't jump in. But I would say, however, in 1995, it belonged. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
It belonged to it was originally white, and it belonged to a guy named Sean Morris. And he bought it at an audition for cars from the Fast and Furious, then called Redline, held by Craig Lieberman, who was the picture coordinator for the car. They originally wanted the car to be Brian's, but they were only able to get one car in and wouldn't be able to replicate it. It was eventually decided that they would only get one car that it would be used for another character as a background car. And we all know that was Leon's yellow.
Yes.
Yellow Skyline.
R33 GTR.
Yeah.
Craig Lieberman actually was the guy who was it Craig Lieberman that pulled up and was like Pizza Boy? He said, "Go home, Pizza Boy."
No, that's the director.
That was the director.
That was the
director.
But the fact that he was sitting on the right-hand side when he did that was actually great. And we all know the specs, but let's get into a little bit. It had a stock RB26 DETT, stock turbos, HKS air filters, HKS fuel rail, fuel pressure regulator, HKS twin power DLI, intercooler, front pipe, HKS exhaust, work VS XX wheels, 18 by 10.5. It was a great car. 0 to 60. Actually did the quarter mile. They did get a chance to do a quarter mile in it. It was 12-1 at 110 miles per hour, 1 bar boost. We already know, that's different boost. Now. Mm-hmm. People get 12s now and whatever.
Yeah.
9s just seem like where everybody reaching.
12 is easy now. 12 back then was a number.
Yeah. But now to talk about the destruction. May 31st, 2012, the state of Wisconsin ordered that the 2 models for the 1995 Nissan Skyline GTR R33 were ordered to be destroyed after a law in the state of Wisconsin and the USA prevented the ownership of a vehicle that doesn't have a valid VIN. especially for imported vehicles. The owner, Justin Bano, also had a second R33 that was crushed as well due to the fact that he attempted to sell the cars to another person and told them he could get them titled in Florida. Unaware the buyer was an undercover agent.
Yep, that's how he got busted.
Although Bino asked if he could ship the car to another country, his appeal was denied, and the feds pretty much took the car and they crushed it
right there.
So when you see that yellow R33 and Fast and Furious, just know that is a true legend because it is gone.
What I want to know is
those wheels.
That there was time and resources spent to send somebody undercover to buy
part of a bigger investigation.
I'm gonna say you
customs.
The government don't play. U.S. Customs
and
customs. I've done that.
Gotta be customs.
Yeah, I've done that work. Those people don't like when you bring stuff that they don't
That's
authorize.
Shout to Zoom for Zoom. He said that
money.
He said that R33 is a stepchild of the GTR. So with that being said, in posthumous,
Legends of Auto. Real legends never die.
Or R.I.P.
R.I.P. to one of the greater GTRs that we've seen. That right there just goes to show you play around, you're gonna find out.
Yep.
If it's one thing you can't play around with, and I know it sounds crazy that they blew all that money trying to get it out of there, but they did it.
Government don't like mess with their money.
Nah, they don't like that.
They don't like you messing with their money.
They don't like that. They don't like that. And now we're gonna take it to our most favorite part. We're gonna skip one segment. You ready for this? Before we end it out?
It's the understeer.
What up?
Where we like to ask, what the hell were you thinking?
So, in a video posted by the Indiana State Police and dated August 24th, an unnamed 51-year-old man gets pulled over while piloting a blue Power Wheels Jeep Wrangler.
Nice.
There's no location given, but it looks like it's a residential area with street lighting. As he's pulled over on public roads, the police officer conducted a sobriety test and found that the man was drunk,
yammered.
So what did he do? He got hit with a DUI driving a Power Wheel. Now you already know when it comes down to the understeer, we don't get you for what you do, we get you for how you do it. So to catch a DUI on a Power Wheel, he is definitely.
It's the understeer.
I tell you what,
where we like to ask, what the hell were you thinking?
That man was in the Power Wheel. Why? Because he probably don't got a license.
How you explain
and
that?
He got probably busted drunk already and took his license. You don't get in trouble driving in a Power Wheel.
Like I said, we don't blame people for what they do. It's a lot of times how you get caught doing it.
It's the understeer.
That is hilarious. With that being said, man, we have reached the end of the show. I want to shout out these two gentlemen right here. Shout to Ace One. Shout to Dr. Phil. We appreciate both of y'all. You already know how we get down. SI Show put his stamp on the legend. He said fire legend.
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
that.
Good.
With that being said, man, we want to tune in and say thanks to everybody who's tuned in early, rocking with us. Y'all rocked with us for the whole show. We appreciate y'all greatly. I appreciate everybody that rocks with us. We got a couple other things we're going to be preparing for in the winter because come spring, come summer next year, it's definitely going to be early. We got a lot of different things. Stay tuned. We actually got some other things we're going to be finishing the year off with. If you are not in the group, the group is called Gutterballrally, the community.
Word.
Gutterballrally, the community.
Sign up
for the group. You stay tuned in with everything. If you can't find the group, all you got to do is shoot us a DM and we'll help you get there, man. With that being said, don't forget, it's the bearded one here. S.I. Sean is not in the building today, but he will be back next week. We got my guy over here.
Ace One.
Let's go.
ACEUNO.
Yes, you know how we do. We got Dr. Phil. Let's go. We appreciate Dr. Phil. You already know how we get down here. So, you got any shout outs you want to give, gentlemen?
Yeah. I just wanted to say, shouts to y'all, shouts to Pop for having me. And I wanted to throw the date out there. I don't know a lot of people in the group seen it. Throw the reminder out there, October 22nd.
The track event.
October 22nd, track event. You're going to Watkins Glen.
Nice.
Let y'all know this on the other side of the state. So
it's a drive.
It's a 4-hour drive there.
4-hour drive. That's not bad.
It's on the other side of the state. But
Yeah.
the link is in the group chat. The link is on the wall. I'm gonna be posting more updates in terms of accommodations because we spending it's a Sunday, so we're going up there to Saturday night. Probably gonna spend the Sunday night down there too after the day is done, and then come back Monday morning.
Sounds like a rally to me.
Well, it sounds like rally.
I will say what I would like to do is, if you don't mind, we would like to see your preparation, because I think a lot. One thing that a lot of people, if they don't jump in, it's because they feel like they can't.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like to see you prep.
Yeah,
it may help them. We would love to do that if you would love to have us there.
All right.
We would love to do that. To show the prep, show how we get down, how you get ready for that.
Yeah.
That was one of the things I have issues with the rallies. People didn't understand how to prepare for the whole big rallies that we done.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So shout to Dr. Phil. Shout to him. He did put that link up. We're going to make sure that we pin it at the top of the group so everybody can see. Any other shout outs you want to give? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Shout outs you want to give?
Oh, man. Shout out to everybody listening. Shout out to everybody in radio.
Let's go.
Rally Radio Land. Shout out to everybody in Gutterballrally Land. Shout out to Pop.
Let's go.
Shout out to S.I. Sean. Shout out to Dr. Phil. Shout out to Reps. Shout out to everybody on the Facebook. Yo, thank y'all for letting me come up here and making a mess and being myself. Yeah. And everybody keep good, man. Everybody stay up.
Let's go.
Make it happen.
Let's go. You already know what it is, man. It's the bearded one here. You know you can find us Saturdays, 12 noon, YouTube at Gutterballrally. You can find us on Instagram at Gutterballrally. You can find us on Facebook at Gutterballrally. And you already know it's the bearded one here. S.I. Sean not in the building. He will be back next week. So until next week, with no more shout outs, we out.
Drop the clutch, hit the gas. Rally Radio, where the fast life meets the fast lane.
Yeah.
You're now tuned into Bars and Hoops Radio. Where the world of hip hop and sports live.
Dropping the clutch and then I hit the gas. Wheels screeching, tires burning, I'm flying past. Gotta get home quick, don't wanna miss the class. They schooling you on whips and how to make them fast. Talking about everything from cars to planes. What's hot, what's next, and how to flip the game. They talk in my language, we speak the same. That whip talk complex, but yet they keep it plain. From the news, the interviews, they keep it cool. They give reviews, everything from parts to tools. Can't lose, come to whips, they not no fools. Don't miss the show, the start time is noon. The bearded one, S.I. Sean, they crazy though. You can't miss it, tune in the Rally Radio.
Where the fast life meets the fast lane.